Hello there, YouTubers, and welcome to another DrCassette video presentation. Today we're going to take a closer look at my computer stereo system and at one certain component that's part of it. Now, there is my computer stereo system the way it is at the moment, and you can also see my computer monitor in the lower right corner of the picture. Now, this system, up on top, we have a Sony model STR-GX390 receiver, and this does have its own video on my channel, so we're not going to take a closer look at that one in this video, because, well, we've already done that. On the sides, you can see a pair of speakers, and these are really nice speakers. And they do sound very good for their size. These are WHD speakers. They are white, as you can see, which I think is kind of a stupid color for speakers. Don't really know why, but I just don't like that. And these are the WHD Mini 2, as a label down there. Not sure if you can see that. And these are 8 ohm speakers. And believe it or not, these small things, and you can see how big they are in comparison to my hand. These things are rated for 50 watts of continuous power and 70 watts peak power, which is kind of incredible. I do have some nice terminals down there, and these are two-way speakers. And I got these at a flea market for only €4, which I think was really a very good deal. And now the component that we are really interested in this video is sitting right there. This is the Aiwa model AD-F910 cassette deck, or AD-F910. And long-term viewers, long-term subscribers of my channel are probably going to remember this cassette deck, but if you're new to my channel, there are good chances that you've never seen this thing before, mainly because I had to take the original video down due to copyright issues. So, here we go. I think, first of all, we're going to take a closer look at this cassette deck. Let's zoom in and have a closer look. Now, you'd expect that up there we have both the Aiwa brand logo and the power switch. Underneath of it, we have the headphone jack, along with a headphone level regulator. Now, this cassette deck has tons and tons of features, and it's definitely proud to have those. You can see down there it says 3-motor PCOCC pure amorphous head. It's a 3-motor setup in the mechanism, and I think it's really only using 2 motors for the actual cassette mechanism, and the 3rd motor is for a very special feature that we are going to demonstrate in just a minute, the motorized cassette door. The PCOCC pure amorphous head, I think that means that it's the head, the windings or the coils in the head are made out of a special oxygen-free copper, and that's crazy stuff. This cassette deck, of course, has Dolby BNC noise reduction. I can't zoom in any closer on it. This is all sitting in a bit of a cramped corner, so can't really get very close. 3 heads, that's right. And it also has a... I have to get a bit closer because I can't read that off of the camcorder screen. It has a super stabilized tension dual capstan mechanism. That's what it says underneath of it, right there. And anti-modulation tape stabilizer AMTS. Yes, I guess that's it about these features, because I guess they are kind of boring to hear. Looking over here, this is where it's getting interesting. We have a big display that can be turned off as well. And it also has a pickup for a remote control, but just as usual, the remote control was an optional accessory, and therefore I don't have it. Underneath of the display you can see the open-close button, and yes, that's for the motorized cassette door. We have controls for the counter, reset and zero return. We have a button which, as I already said, turns the display on and off. We also have a switch to turn the MPX filter on and off, and we can also switch the HX Pro on and off, which is kind of interesting because usually that is not switchable. We also have the selector switch for the Dolby system. Underneath of that we have the controls for the mechanism. I guess that's all kind of obvious. The rewind and fast forward buttons also double as music search and automatic music search buttons. Yep, this thing has cue and review as well as a fully automatic music search system. That's a unusual combination. Usually you only find one of the two things. We have a timer switch for record playback, and actually, yep, that's what it is. I can't really see what it's saying there because I have the camera like 2 meters away from the actual cassette deck. As HX Pro discrete circuit, so it's not part of some integrated circuit. Alright, moving on, we have the calibration feature, and that's also kind of unusual because this is actually a manual calibration. Usually you're getting it all automatic, but this gives you the options to manually adjust the bias and the record sensitivity, and we're going to try that in this video as well. This is going to be a very detailed video. We have a record balance regulator, and above that we have the monitor switch, because of course this is a 3-head cassette deck. And then we have a CD DAT direct button, and what that is, this cassette deck has 2 record inputs, and that switch is to switch between the 2. And up there, of course, we have a big level regulator. So, I guess now it's time to get this thing into action and to record something. Okay, let's try that again. The previous take was too long. Okay, now, I'm now standing like 2 meters away from the camera too, so I'm not able to change the camera position anymore, so hope you're able to see everything I'm doing here. Anyway, now here is the tape we're going to use for our demonstration. This is a Fuji FR metal cassette from the early 80s. And this is a Type 4 metal cassette, one of the best ones they ever made. And that's the first thing. That's the motorized cassette door. Let's insert our cassette. There it goes. The clicking you could hear there is a system that engages each time you're inserting the cassette. That is to remove any slacks or any loose tape in the cassette so that you don't get into any trouble. So cassette is rewound all the way to the beginning, and so we can go ahead and put this into the record mode. Now, interesting thing is, this cassette deck has that calibration feature. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to try out the calibration. So if I press that button, you can see the display is changing, and 2 of these flickering bars are appearing. That's without calibration, that's the calibration. And now we can go ahead and adjust our bias and our record sensitivity. And as you can see, it's actually already pretty close. You can see there's that little red arrow right there. And if I turn the bias down, this upper level goes up. And if I turn the bias up, the level goes down. The preset for the bias is actually pretty accurate already. Maybe a little bit more. That's better. And record sensitivity just makes it either really high when you set it up, set it down, turn it down. It's going low. Let's get out of the calibration mode. We can actually have a quick listen at what the calibration sounds on the tape. There it goes. And interesting thing is that there are actually two different test tones recorded at the same time. There is one rather low and one very high frequency that you're probably not even able to hear when I'm done with compressing this video. There it goes. Anyway, rewind to the beginning so that we can start with making our recording. Of course, this is a 3-head cassette deck, so it's going to be very comfortable. We can listen to the result while it's still recording. So, well, I know some of you really love this music, but I currently just don't have anything else that's completely without any potential copyright problems. So here we go. Let's set it to record once more. Enjoy. Yeah, there we go once again. Anyway, and set our levels. There we go. And let's start recording. One annoying thing it's doing is it automatically switches to the tape when you start recording. It's kind of annoying. There it goes. That's the tape. That's the source. Source is my computer. Tape. And source. You can also try setting the levels, setting them up a little bit higher. This is of course a metal cassette, so it should be able to take some pretty high levels. I'm not sure if you're able to really hear that on camera, but kind of disappointing. You really can't go any higher than to plus 4 dB, where it goes into the red at 6 dB. Maybe that's also because of the record calibration. Maybe that also calibrates the tape for the record level indicator. That would be kind of an interesting feature. It would definitely make things a lot easier. And also demonstrate the HX Pro. That's off. That's on. Well, the difference is, well, I think there is no difference between the two. That's kind of disappointing. Doesn't seem like the HX Pro's making too much of a big difference. You can also try the Dolby systems. That's Dolby C. Dolby C is definitely making this all sounding kind of muffled. It's kind of interesting. Kind of stupid, actually. Dolby B is better, but of course not as effective. But I'm just using Dolby. I'm not using Dolby C anymore. I'm just using Dolby B because a lot of my cassette decks don't have Dolby C, so I can't use that anyway. Plus, when the cassettes are aging a little bit and when they are getting a little bit muffled, the Dolby C system is completely out of adjustment and it just sounds absolutely horrible, while the Dolby B recordings are still sounding acceptable. And of course, if your cassette is really sounding muffled, you can completely turn off the Dolby B system, while the Dolby C recordings are just going to sound weird if you don't play them with Dolby C turned on. And that's with Dolby off, that's the tape, that's HX Pro turned on. So, well, I guess that's it for a demonstration. Definitely haven't done a demonstration with that much detail in a very long time. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment if you liked it. And well, I guess that's it. So for yet another time, I am saying, hope you've enjoyed this video, and see you again soon.